Let's dig deeper now with Santor Nishizaki. He's the CEO of the Mulholland Consulting Group, which specializes in creating strong corporate cultures. He's also the co-author of Working with Gen Z, a handbook to recruit, retain, and reimagine the future workforce after COVID-19. Thank you very much, Santor, for talking to us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me here. Appreciate it as well.
So is mandating, I'll just ask you right off, is mandating workers back into the office a few days a week, it varies depending on the companies, the right move right now?
Well, it really depends on what they do. And recent research says that you should look at it by a team, not by an entire organization. And it's all about productivity. So why are we coming back into the office? Is it structured? Is it just because we want to see people sitting at their desks? I think that's some of the questions that leaders and organizations need to ask. And if they want to keep their best people, as I heard from the segment before, you may want to evaluate maybe from an individual or team level what the best way to go is.
Okay, so why do you think that is? Why do you think that, because we've heard this, right? That productivity is better with people in the office. We hear about the important connections that you just can't make when you're working from home. Are you not buying some of those arguments that have been put forward by employers?
Well, Andrew, I live in Los Angeles, and it could take an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to the office. So it's kind of hard to explain to some people, why would I drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to sit in a cubicle and work on a spreadsheet? I could do that at home with a lot less interruptions, but being in the office is really important, especially for younger employees, Gen Z and millennials, because they want to, a lot of Gen Zers started their careers during the pandemic. So having that mentoring and coaching and FaceTime is important, but making sure that the time in the office is structured for that and collaboration, because that's where empathy and compassion can really happen, is in the office and in person. But doing the type of tasks that like paperwork and spreadsheets, that could be done at home, and we could get an extra hour in the gym during those days or more time with our kids.
So what do you think, as we look at this and we look at some companies mandating this, it's after Labor Day, seems like the time to do this.
Hear it every year, right, Andrew?
You hear it every year. And so
every Labor Day, we're going back to the office.
Right. But now we're in kind of what it feels like a post-pandemic. So now do you feel as though companies are still committed to this, or do you feel like the future of the workplace might include some kind of hybrid model or more flexibility?
The future of the workplace is going to be hybrid for the best companies. I know I'm saying that with a caveat. Not all jobs can be done remotely, but the future of the office type of workplace can be done in a hybrid type of setting. But organizations really need to start understanding how to track productivity. Like, why does being in the office mean that we're productive? I worked at places where people were on Facebook and Netflix all day. So is that being productive? I think it's looking at what outputs you are producing. And I think that will really help organizations be more successful. And no, some people are not self-aware enough. They should be in the office 5 days a week because they're not very good at managing their time at home. So I think it's also workers need to be self-aware too, but using metrics and understanding what productivity is going to be a lot more useful. So how are driving these decisions?
Yeah. Okay. So how do you think the current economic conditions might be impacting how people view their jobs? Is this kind of our employees feeling really kind of strong and strident about what they want, or is the economy kind of, we're unsure where it's going, and so now they may feel as though they've just got to do whatever their employer asks?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. We're seeing quitting go down to one of the lowest levels from pre-pandemic. And I think that, people are staying put for now. But if you really, because they're not quitting doesn't mean that they're not quiet quitting. I don't know if you've heard that phrase before, but we may be disengaged at work. So you want to get the most out of your people to have them be the most engaged. And that can be by creating a hybrid work schedule. I know that I love being able to work remotely, even for my business, sometimes doing calls like this, because I want to be able to go pick up my kids and I could do work a little bit later. But just being able to measure what that output is going to be really important. And that will make me want to do more and be more productive for my employer.
Santor, thank you. Santor Nishizaki is the CEO of the Mulholland Consulting Group.